I was forever carrying a football around me from a young age. I always wanted to be one, but you know, plenty of practices and you know, training sessions. You know, nothing obviously is guaranteed, but you know, I worked hard at wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was just always so focused on becoming a footballer that I threw everything into it. You know, I worked hard. You know, plenty of sacrifices. You know, for example, you know, I have a lot of friends who maybe want to go out and what we did, stand on street corners. You know, all in groups, but you know, I was the good lad. I always wanted to go home because I knew I had, you know, I had a football training or matches. You know, eventually I did, you know, I did make it as a footballer, and yeah, I was glad of that because I worked hard at it. I think I just signed my first big contract at Liverpool, just 18, and it was Graham Souness, who was the then manager. You know, he put me in touch with a financial advisor. You know, I had various meetings with him, and obviously he recommended that, you know, this was the way forward. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I didn't have a clue. You know, I mean, I said before, I was focused on the football, and thankfully you know, I met this this sound financial advisor, and you know, he's put me on the right path. From the outset, you know, I always seemed to do well. It was more the financial side, of financial advisor who you know, who recommended certain objects, if you like, and he'd done most of it, to be honest. And it was not until sort of later in my career that I knew, you know, I'm coming to the end, that, you know, I probably would have needed to focus on it, because you know, I played football for a long time, and I was just interested in football, but you know, you do know as a player, you know, it sadly can come to an end, and you know, and there's other avenues that you need to take. So look, there's been lots of ups and lots of downs, and you know, thankfully there's been more ups. I think it's sort of helping you to become your own boss. You know, eventually you will get out of the job that you've been doing, you know, and try and, you know, better your life. You know, that's really what we all want. You know, we all want to be our own boss. We all want to be, you know, make our own decisions, and you know, and starting on this path, I think it will help many people. You know, I know for a fact it's certainly helped me, and now that I have finished playing, you know, this is you know, certainly the route I'm going to go down. I think in life, I think we all want to be comfortable with whatever, you know, we're doing. Look, and some people, you know, earn the monies and the jobs, you know, and then they put into investments, and sadly these jobs become to an end. And then you want to get into that position after you've finished working, or maybe you've not finished working, you still continue to work, but you want to be, as I said before, your own boss. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to do things at your own will. We all want to be successful, you know, at everything we do, and you know, this for me is you know, is right. It feels right. The easy answer for that is it's just about focus. I think as a professional, I mean, you've got to be so focused and driven, you know, in achieving what you want to achieve, and you know, you want to achieve the very best. And that's the same with, I think, with property. You know, you have got to be focused. You know, if we're being honest, you know, sometimes you don't really know what's around the corner. You know, we've seen the big crash of a few years ago, which it certainly never helped a lot of people. Coaches and mentors, if you like, I mean, they can advise you and you know, and tell you what they think's best. But you know, you as an individual have got to go out there. You've got to want to do it. It's no good, you know, going into it, you know, if you're not 100%, because you know, probably 9 times out of 10 it probably won't work. I've had, you know, a very good life, a good career, and I've always had good advice, and I think there's a lot of people out there who don't get it, and I think I'm sort of in a good position where, you know, because I've had a good career, I think people will listen to me and can listen to me, because you know, I've been there and I've done it. So if I'm coming out and, you know, the property academies, you know, the football education sides, then people will probably respect me that little bit more, because obviously of what I've done. So where I'm from, I don't think you know, there wasn't much happening, you know, from when I was a kid, and you know, there's certainly markets and, you know, and avenues that you can go down to sort of better the lives of You know, I spoke before about bettering the lives of your family and that, but look, I don't think there's anything wrong in sort of helping you know, other people who aren't as fortunate for you, and look, that goes in terms of properties, and you know, and this football education academy, which will also be opening soon, is you know, it's a way and it's an avenue you know, for many kids to, you know, to better their lives. I think we've all made mistakes, and you know, and I will make mistakes in the future, but you know, I've probably bought houses you know, when I should have done. That was at the height of the boom. So obviously, unfortunately, you lose, you know, a little bit. So and that probably was me just rushing into things, you know, rushing, thinking that, you know, thinking I know everything, and obviously thinking back, you know, you don't really know too much. So that's why it's good to get the advice, and you know, and listen to the mentors, because you know, they will advise you on the best possible route into where you want to be. I think the advice I would give myself is just to, you know, I wish I'd have been more proactive in a lot of stuff. You know, I did the properties, simple things when, and this sounds ridiculous, but you know, when you're a footballer, I mean, you have to, when you finish playing, you have to learn how to pay bills, you know, because everything's sort of done for you. So I wish I'd have been more hands-on myself, and you know, done more things myself. You know, I wasn't really allowed to do that. It does sound, it's such a neat, well, such a silly answer from me, but I mean, that was the case. You know, everything was in a little nutshell for me, and you know, I wish I'd have been more hands-on with myself. I probably wished, you know, that more than anything. The be all and end all is you've got to be clever. You've got to know what's right. You've got to listen to that information and make sure it's right before diving into anything. I think that is a major factor in anything property. You know, you've got to know. You know, you've got to know what's right. I'm sure this is for the you know, for the schools and, you know, the mentors. You know, this little video, and you're all here because, you know, because you want to. You know, you're here because you want to, you know, better yourselves, and you know, you've started the right way. So you know, you're here, so you're going to get the right information. You know, I'm glad. In fact, I'm not glad, I'm ecstatic that I've been involved with them, because you know, I've learned so much in the past couple of years than what, you know, I'd known before, and I'm continuing to learn, and I think that's the best way. You know, there's times when you know, not everything has been great for me. I like the fact is that it's a family atmosphere. You know, you speak to a lot of the mentors, you know, and it's their choice to come back and, you know, and still be involved with TIGRENT. Not everyone has got to do that. But I mean, that speaks volumes. I mean, that speaks volumes about, you know, obviously the mentors and TIGRENT as a company, because I think they have the best interests of everyone. You know, who wants to purchase properties. You know, it's not just all about the company. It's about making the right decisions for the right people. And yeah, I think it's that sort of family atmosphere, if you like, of TIGRENT. That's, you know, I think that will drive everyone to become part of it. I'm more than happy with the way things are going at the minute. You know, I want to develop, you know, much more. You know, I want more properties. You know, I want this, you know, this football, you know, academies, football education academy to work, and obviously the type of person I am. You know, I spoke before in obviously this little video that you know, I'm quite driven, I'm quite focused, and you know, I want to continue doing what I'm doing without sounding, you know, egotistical and bigger. I want more. You know, I like what's happening. You know, and I'm seeing big things. So keep going the right way. It's working so far.